Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Happy Wednesday, October 30th. I am coming in between my executive client calls to chat and connect, keep to my promise of coming in and sharing the things that are coming up in the sessions I'm having with my clients in an effort to serve and contribute and support the collective with similar guidance and needs that may come into your world. So, today, the conversations this week so far, the conversations have been leading very much towards the new phase in everyone's life. I think it has a lot to do with astrology is something that I love and I follow, and I believe that as above below, as within without. And we've been seeing a phase that have has just finished around purging and shedding and getting rid of everything that doesn't serve us, right? This was a phase of expiring, reorganizing, right? Where we would identify pieces of us that we are no longer taking a stand for and no longer willing to live with. And we were kind of doing that process of what is going to get thrown away, what is going to be given away, right? That we're no longer going to make mean something about us. And that was all a phase of what I call the death, right? The ending, the closure of a stage in our life. And a lot of us were feeling the pain of the separation and the fear of this new version of us, right? We were also feeling the loss of the identity. So I feel like that has kind of moved forward for most of us. There may be some of us that are still feeling it a little bit and in the halo effect of that, but a lot of us are moving toward the new, right? The rebirth, building what's next, building this next version of us, finding little breadcrumbs around what we are newly passionate about, seeing all the I want to say faceted versions of us, how we can be much more and not just like one version that's showing up in one way. So, really, this rebirth is about the multidimensional parts of us, the faceted parts of us, how we can be. Like in my case, right, where I am a reverend and an intuitive success catalyst, and I work with executive corporate folks, and I also support a lot of spiritual activities, and I'm an author, right, and I'm a grandmother and a mom and all the things, right, the multidimensional parts of us that we are now inviting in is the rebirth, right? And that's what I want to talk about today, this new rebirth and what are the things that it brings with it, right? So, those of you that don't know me yet, my name is Patty Ferreira. I am an intuitive success catalyst, and as I've mentioned, many other hats, many other things, multi passionate. And what I'm most excited about is really bringing people to this crossroads where emotional development and competence can live with your open mindset and strategic smarts. Like, I love bringing together these three key elements of who we are to the table and help them collaborate with each other and give their strengths towards our highest trajectory, right? Where we can come to a place of success with satisfaction, right? So if you can build emotional intelligence, if you could, tap into your highest consciousness, and if you can implement your strategic strengths to every situation in your life together and in harmony, then you're on fire. You're just elevated and growing and moving upwards and forwards in a quantum accelerated way. So that's what I'm passionate about. And today I want us to talk about this quote, right? Where we've heard, I'm sure you've heard it before, where people are have said like a new level brings new devils, right? A new level can bring new devils. And I think that's a lot of what's been coming through this week as I talk with a lot of my clients, right? There's this feeling of we're building this new phase, we're creating this new vision, we're tapping into this unknown potential, and there's so much that's coming up in terms of um, limitations and beliefs, right? These are things that come with this new phase. Like it's part of the process. And I like to normalize these things, right? Because when we talk about things like imposter syndrome, scarcity, self doubt, right? These are all the parts that come into what's new, right? When you're reorganizing your life, when you're stepping into a new role, when you're starting a new I don't know, entrepreneurship passion, when you're stepping into a new company, every time there is a new phase in your life, which is, by the way, unavoidable. We are always cycling through new things, right? Like I'm here on YouTube and it's kind of new, right? It's a new thing, it's a new way of showing up. I'm not sure about how all these buttons work for me, and I'm in imperfect action. That doesn't mean that there isn't a level of like the imposter syndrome, like who do I think I am, and how, what are people going to think, and can I contribute, can I offer value? Like these are things that are organic, natural, normal for us as human beings in the self-doubt, right? The um the uncertainty of the new thing brings in these elements. And my invitation today is, and it's been what I've spoken to my clients about, it's been, to understand that this is the reality of it all and to befriend it, right? It's almost like part of the process, right? And I like to talk about it like people asking, so what designer are you wearing today, right? As you're moving towards this new phase, or as you're showing up in this new version of yourself, or as you're coming forward in this new occasion in your life, right? Because this is an occasion. And I like to say, well, sometimes the designer is going to be scarcity. The designer may be, self doubt. And those are things that get to come with me, not the things that stop me from doing and from showing up and from speaking up and from taking a stand in this new version, right? They're not the things that are going to prohibit me. They're the things that are going to come anyway. Just like excitement comes anyway, right? I call it scare excitement because the two things feel very similar and they come together in this journey of doing something new, right? If we're not in this energy of feeling stretched and on the edge, right, of our capacity, and doing it with the growing pains, then we're in our comfort zone, which is very stale to me, and not something I get excited about. I'm always looking for the inspiration and the fuel that's underneath the unknown, right? What I don't recommend and what I don't do is allow myself, the negative thinking or the fears, right? Whatever it's designed in that day, whatever outfit it's wearing, right? Scarcity, imposter syndrome, self doubt, lack of confidence, all the things, right? I do not let those things define me. And trust me, easier said than done, right? Part of what I want to make sure we land here is a very like practical pedestrian approach to overcoming these mindset and energetic, right, pitfalls, because at the end of the day, when we talk about emotional intelligence, what we're talking about is energy in motion, right? That's what um, emotion is, energy in motion. So when you can define the energy that you're running, right, or whether it's self-worth or empowerment, right, you can define the pieces that you're going to get to bring in as tools and as leverages, right, to move forward still still as this too is happening. So for me, it's very, very much about that. And as I talk with the different leaders, right, like where they're at in their world in terms of, as like, I don't know if I've shared, but I work with leaders from director level all the way to C suite. And I work with entrepreneurs for small businesses, right, that have been in entrepreneurship 5 years or more, right? And these are all people that are ambitious, they're driven, they're action takers. I mean, their trajectory shows it, their resume shows it, the things they've accomplished and their achievements and their accolades show it. And however, and as well, they experience the fear, the anticipation, the scare excitement, right, the new level, new devil concept. Yes. And it's very important for us to start to really understand that we get to do this from a place of um, trusting ourselves, which is the number one thing that I talk about. Like when we talk about emotional intelligence and getting to a place where there's trust and self love and compassion and accountability, that the belief that we can do hard things, right, it's about recognizing, understanding and managing your emotions and your mindset. That's the thing, right? How we do it is what becomes very individual and very unique, because what's going to work for you is going to be very different than what works for me. My makeup, the conditioning, the belief structure, my energetic temperature, how my view and perspective on life and on myself is mine. And therefore, the tools that I use and implement to usher me through this process is going to be very unique and different. The combination of them, right? How we bring them together. But at the end of the day, the major parts, right, are very similar, right? There's so think about it like if it were a car, right? Every car has an engine, every car has a transmission, every car has brakes, every car has like the gas pedal, right? So what are those things for you? What's the thing that's the fuel? What's the thing that's the heart, the engine, the thing that gives you most passion, the thing that gives you courage, right? We all know that heart in Spanish is corazón, which is courage, right? So, what is that for you? That's where self awareness is key. That's where pattern recognition matters more than anything else, right? Because it allows you to really understand what's the thing that's going to cut through the noise. What's the thing that's going to, close the gap, right? Bring down the blocks, yeah, and like mend the leaks that are creating pitfalls and hurdles for you. So my invitation for you is to like stick with self-awareness, knowing thyself, understanding the things that are going to create um purpose, passion, potential, the things that are going to create agility for you, the things that are going to create creativity for you, right? Like when one thing doesn't work, look for the next thing that may be able to support you, because the reality is that We are all human. We are all ever changing. This is a phase and time of huge transformation, evolution, and elevation, and allowing things like fear and scarcity and low self-worth and imposter syndrome to stop us and hold us back is not in the highest good for us, for the collective, and for our family and friends. So I'm sending you lots of love. I hope this offers a lot of value. Maybe it creates some questions. I'm happy to make this a dialogue. And I'm also happy to hear your thoughts. I'm open to your feedback and your own ideas around this concept. All right. Sending you lots of love. Have an amazing day.